Love and peace! Back in 2005, American anime fans were pumped to learn that Yasuhiro Naito's Trigun, famous for launching the voice acting career of Johnny Young Bosch, would be getting a movie. Over the next few years, small details leaked out, release dates came and went. And finally, the film was released in spring 2010. The question is, was it worth the wait? Trigun Badlands Rumble gives fans of the television series more of what made it popular. While it certainly has a good mix of action, drama, and comedy, it follows the formula of the TV series very closely. So once you've figured out who's who, it's not really hard to figure out what happens next. Since it follows the one-shot pattern laid out by the series, the film stands alone in terms of plot. And even though you can enjoy it without seeing any of the series, it certainly helps, since the movie assumes you already know who the main characters are and how they're related to one another. For the unfamiliar, Trigun takes place in a steampunk version of the Old West, filled with lawless rogues and bounty hunters. Our protagonist is Vash the Stampede, known as the humanoid typhoon for the trail of destruction he leaves in his wake. Despite his reputation, Vash comes across as a naive do-gooder, and he uses his insanely good marksmanship to keep people alive rather than kill them. Next up, we have Meryl and Millie, two insurance agents who are responsible for keeping Vash under control so that their company won't have to pay damages. They're polar opposites, with Meryl being the worrywart and Millie being cheerful and fun-loving. Rounding out the posse is Nicholas D. Wolfwood, a traveling priest who's handy in a fight and overall more pragmatic than Vash. And that takes care of all the background you really need to enjoy the movie. We start with a bank robbery perpetrated by the film's villain, Gasback. Things go sour when he's betrayed by his henchmen, and only Vash's intervention keeps everyone alive. And this sets the stage for the main story 20 years later. Gasback is now tracking down his old henchmen to take revenge, and the action converges on Maka City, where henchman Kane Kepler used his money from the robbery to fix up the town and gain power. Now as its mayor, he hires bounty hunters from all over the world to protect himself when rumors of Gasback's approach reach his ears. Among those bounty hunters is a young woman named Amelia, and she has a grudge against Gasback. Vash takes a liking to her right from the start and spends most of the first half of the film unsuccessfully flirting with her, much to her annoyance. It makes for great comedy, as she literally breaks out in hives whenever she is touched, in her own words, by an idiot. Much of her development is centered around her relationship with Vash and Gasback. Initially blinded by her desire for revenge, her ongoing interaction with Vash starts to peel some of that coldness away, and she starts to recognize the flaws of her motivation at the same time that she's understanding what really motivates Vash's odd behavior. The action scenes are very well done, with frantic gunfights involving everything from bullets to missiles, with the occasional close combat thrown in. For me, though, one minor disappointment is that Gasback is really just a regular guy. Powerful, yes, but he's no challenge for Vash in a straight-up duel. But because of Vash's pacifist stance, the real climax of the film is the final confrontation between Gasback and Amelia, and that is where the lessons she's learned throughout the film really get driven home. Overall, Badlands Rumble is a solid watch. It knows when to be serious and when to be funny, but depending on how much of a fan you are of the TV series, the fact that it closely follows the TV formula can either be a plus or a minus. Pittsburghers, you may have missed your chance to see it at the Hollywood Theater in Dormont, but it is out on DVD and Blu-ray, so you can pick that up for a watch. And for more anime, stop by Vermilion every Saturday night at 7 p.m. I am Dan, and I am out.